Welcome to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. Every week, another step along the path toward a more peaceful, happy life. A life where you grow into the best possible version of yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now, let's get started down the path for today. And indeed, welcome. This is The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. I'm Bill Sklodowski, live and direct from Gainesville, Florida, and my partner and friend, Vicki Wagoner, live and direct from Blue Ridge, Georgia. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
I am good.
Good.
With the holiday, as we record this, it's the Tuesday after Memorial Day, and the holiday was yesterday, and Monday is normally lawn care day. So if you hear a lawnmower in the background, it's my apartment lawnmower people, but I'm told by others who have listened to the podcast that they don't hear much in the background, so we should be okay. Just throwing that out there in case you hear something, but no big deal. So, yeah, and then here we are in Gainesville, Florida, soon to be June, and it's already hot as you know where.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She's making a face. Yeah,
It's been warm here too.
Yeah. So other than that, but I mean, it's great. It's been going well. You and I were talking before the recording started. Yours truly is working on a new relationship.
Yay.
With all the excitement and enthusiasm and anticipation and flat out fear that involves.
Well, it's like anything new, it's like, where is it going to go? What's going to happen? How's it going to, play out?
Right.
So, but I don't know, by the look on your face, you look pretty happy.
Thank you. I believe so too. So I don't believe that I am happy. I know that I'm happy. So
Yes.
I don't have to believe about that one. I know how I feel.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I know how I feel. What an interesting thing to say on a podcast of personal growth, that about how you know. Wow, I want to save that. I want to, as they say in the news business, I want to put a pin in that and come back to that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I know how I feel. But I want to talk about that tidbit, and I want to come back to it. But I want to kind of catch us up here first with what else is going on in the world, etc. I started a couple of weeks ago with thinking of or expressing something that we have gratitude for. So
Yes.
I am going to say I am in gratitude this week for this new thing that I'm experiencing relationship-wise and seeing how it's going, like you mentioned, and all of that. And it's part, for me, the big fun of it is the discovering part, is the like, oh, you like this, oh, you don't like that, oh, you're cool with this, oh, you enjoy that, oh, you know, all those things.
Yeah.
Finding those new ways to connect, finding good ways to connect with people on a deeper level, to me, is something I have gratitude for. I'll say it that way. So I think that's cool and fun, and I'm enjoying that process. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anything cross your mind in terms of something to be grateful for this week?
Well, I'm grateful. I have my good friend, my other good friend. You're one of my good friends. Your good friend, Kelly. She's up here for the week, and we've been having fun. She's working right now, as we are, but it's more play to me than work.
Right.
So I'm grateful that she's up here. Haven't seen her in a while, and we have a lot of fun.
Good.
I think, going back to the relationship thing, is I'm really grateful for my husband of 42 years married so far. So.
So far.
So far.
You haven't killed him yet.
You got, a few more years to go. So
good. That's great.
Yeah, no, because I feel like our relationship has taken a turn, and it's just gets better all the time.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, as someone who's been married for 40 plus years, and you just said it. So I want to just dig just a tiny bit deeper on that idea of how does it, after all this time, how does it continue to grow, change, improve? I mean, I don't know if you could put your finger on one or two things, but I'm curious about that, because I'm somebody that might be entering a relationship that lasts a while.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm on the other end of it. I'm at the end where I'm just figuring things out and discovering about this person. But I totally get what you're saying, and that's been something that's on my mind with relationships about how you keep them fresh. Is that a good word? Or how you keep
Or,
them interesting and connected?
yeah, and keep you together in
Right.
partnership. I feel what you got to be is you got to be good friends. And talk honestly with each other, share with each other, if, just be there for each other and
Right.
have, things in common that you enjoy
Of course.
and being supportive and loving. And if, something bothers you, just say, okay, we're going to have a little powwow. Because it's really communication is the best of the foundation of, I feel, any relationship, especially a marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, and hopefully I'm done with dating profiles and websites and all of that sort of a
Oh,
thing. But
yeah.
yes, I always mentioned on my own profiles and stuff like that how
Mhm.
important communication was.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it really, I mean, without that,
Yeah.
there's almost, I mean, you're just guessing, and that's the worst. I mean,
Well,
about what
yeah, and
somebody thinks or feels or whatever. Yeah.
or you got to tiptoe around, and that's stressful if you can't have an open communication and say what you feel, and share. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with everything because that's, that's impossible.
Right.
Yet being open to what the other person has to say, how they feel, what's going on in their life, and just sharing openly and being honest with each other and respectful of each other and
Mhm.
honoring each other and whatever they're interested in or whatever the conversation is or whatever is coming up or,
Right.
and a lot of it is playing, going out and doing things together,
Right.
I'm like the biggest kid there is, but and it's sharing duties, sharing responsibilities, and sharing with each other and being respectful and kind and understanding. And but again, the biggest thing is communication.
Right. Right, I agree with that. I do. I've seen, I've watched more than my fair share of relationship expert videos on YouTube. I mean, real people, not just,
Yeah.
young kids who call themselves experts. I'm a real people with PhDs behind their names and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and authors of books and stuff like that who have done things. And so, yes, the communication thing for, and I'll just throw this out there for you ladies, you want to know, men, for what us men, one of the things I think that they kind of just quickly mention, and it's like, oh yeah, but for men, no, this, I'm serious, this is a thing, and it is that respect.
Oh,
If you
definitely.
disrespect a man, I mean, okay, two guys, Bill and his buddy playing pickleball together, and he blows the shot. I'm gonna get on him like nothing, right? I'm gonna disrespect it, but it's all in. It's the fun. It's the
Right.
guys dig on each other constantly. I mean, that's
Hmm.
how we. That's how men establish their pecking orders and their, whatever. It's,
Yeah.
guys are just dogs. Guys are just big dogs that walk on their hind legs, and they're yipping at each other, they're barking at each other, they're seeing who's the big dog on the block, that sort of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I get it. That's men to men.
Right.
When but when a man interacts with a woman that he's serious, that there's a serious thing there.
Right.
Respect is a big thing. It really, I don't know if I'm saying, I don't know if this is news to any of our lady listeners. I don't know if it, but maybe they're like, duh, Bill. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Because I feel that. I feel myself feeling that. Is that the right way to put it? I don't know. And I feel how that has negatively affected past relationships. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Vicki Wagner, know of my past. Really, you know of all my past relationships.
I'm still hanging in there.
Still are, still my friend after all that. Yeah. So yes, to me, and again, I don't think I'm speaking just for me personally. I think that's a guy thing. I really do. I think the respect part of it is, and again, you're not bowing down to the guy. You're not putting him on a pedestal or anything like that. But if it comes to the point of like disrespect, that's a red flag in a relationship. For me, it is. So,
And it's for women too.
right.
I think it's just a human thing that we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be respected, honored, and appreciated.
I agree. I do. I agree. I wasn't trying to make it as just about men,
Oh,
but I think, and yet, having said that, I will say that it's
yeah.
maybe I don't know. Again, I don't have the PhD after my name, so
No, I
I'm
don't
just
either.
reporting on what I see. But yes, the concept of, like you said, of being seen and having the other person be present for that.
Yes, that's it.
Um,
Present,
yeah, yeah.
having your full attention.
Your full attention, full
Yes.
attention, and
Mhm.
whatever that means for you, but not playing with your phone, not watching TV, not what
Yeah.
you know, unless
Oh,
that's what you're doing together. I mean, I get it, that's
well,
fine.
yeah.
But it's yeah, that's so interesting. You're at one end of the relationship spectrum,
Mhm.
having been with someone in a long term, in
Yeah.
40 plus years. I mean, good golly,
All right.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then me starting something with
Mhm.
someone that I hope turns into long term. It's kind
Right.
of an interesting little balance there to see how it's going.
Right.
We'll report back to you on how that goes, folks,
Yes.
over the
Oh,
years.
you better believe it. I'll be on it.
Is that something you do? I mean, do you talk to your clients about do questions of relationship come up for you? Because I know
Yeah.
you more work on the individual themselves, but
Well,
or
I've worked with couples too,
uh-huh,
and it's looking at that person and going, why did you get together in the first place? What drew you together and what is drawing you apart? So stepping back, as I like to say, and looking at the bigger picture of, okay, what's really going on?
right,
You know, and the other part of it is when somebody's, talking and saying what they need to say, is the other person listening
right,
and hearing that person and
right,
allowing them to speak freely and openly about how they're feeling. So, and just being honest with each other. And I think sometimes, when you're in a long relationship, you just do things over and over and over again. Periodically, you just got to stop and go and have a talk and go, how are things going? How are you feeling? What do you feel about our relationship? Is there anything else we can do, to spice it up or whatever? So
hmm,
communication is really important throughout any relationship. You and I are good friends, and we have to communicate well.
sure.
Well, when you're married to your best friend.
You damn well better be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. To put not the too fine a point on it, as they say.
yeah.
Yeah.
And how, the way you treat your friends is the way you treat your spouse,
Right.
it's equally. And
Right.
especially because you're, with them and you married them for a reason. And going back to why did you get together? Go back to the ground, and go, why did you get together? What is it? I know life is, brings all sorts of, chaos and stuff, but periodically just, sit down, have a quiet evening and just go, let's look at the basics of why we got together and what can we do if you feel like you're, drawing apart, what can
Right.
we do to bring that back together? And
Right.
communication, just and having quiet, turn the TV off, the radio off, sit out on the porch, just have your quiet time and focus on each other. Get back to that, reason of I married you because, or I'm with you because.
Right. Right. I love that. I do. That's good. Um, we're gonna take a quick break just to get the ball rolling here. But I did want to get your information out there earlier because I know that sometimes we wait until the end of the show. But if somebody were interested in chatting with you about relationships or anything else, how would they
Okay.
get in touch with you? Because this is what you do. I mean, we're not just
Yes,
here spouting this stuff. She knows what she's talking about. So
thank you. Call or
someone
text.
wanted to get in touch with you. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said call or text 239-248-0586 or email Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 at gmail.com.
There you go. And of course, yours truly is findable on YouTube at Bill's iPhone Tips, and more about that later because there's even more scams out there nowadays. Not really the
Oh,
focus of our program, but we'll clue you in on a few things happening there.
yes.
But let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Hey, it's Bill, stepping out of the studio for a quick second. On the podcast, one of the things we talk about a lot is motivation, the desire to get things done in life. It might be physical stuff, losing a few pounds, getting a better job, finding a great relationship. Or it might be more of what I like to call internal things, finding ways to feel better about yourself or life in general. Well, to help our listeners along that particular path, we've prepared a helpful, simple guide for personal motivation. It's called Flipping the Switch: How to Create Motivation at a Moment's Notice. I'd like to send you a free copy, along with some other special bonus goodies. Bonus, you say? Well, yes, kind of an unadvertised in-store special. What is it? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself. So, do this. Head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com. Yep, the same name as the podcast itself. Put in your email and we'll immediately send you to the free download. We'll also let you know about upcoming podcast episodes and other behind-the-scenes information. Again, just head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com, and get your free guide to boosting your personal motivation. I'm sure you'll find it helpful and, dare I say, practical. Now, back to the show. Okay, welcome back. I just wanted to do that quick thing there to make it a little easier to navigate around the program and all that. And as always, of course, if you do want to get in touch with Miss Vicki, the easiest way, she just told you, and we'll have all that contact info in the show notes below this program, wherever you watch it. Well, wherever you listen to it, I should say. But yeah, I'm watching it. We're doing it on the Zoom call.
Yeah, we're watching it.
We're watching it. You're listening to it. It's all good. And by the way, wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube Radio or YouTube Music, I should say, or Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio. Gosh, we're on all of those places. Feel free to leave a review, and a 5-star review would be appreciated. And you can find us on Facebook as well. If you do a search on Facebook for The Practical Path Podcast, make sure the whole thing, The Practical Path Podcast. You'll find the listing there. We post the new shows every week. We post other links to the articles that we talk about, and always interested in your comments. So there you go. All right, little plug. Plug over, back to show. One of the things we talk about a ton on this show, because I know it's one of your, I don't know what we would call it. One of your building blocks, one of your foundational things in your practice as you work with people is that whole concept of inner child.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
a big.
And how we have been told or have learned things over the years that began when we were literally children.
Yes.
And we carry them with us through life.
Oh, yes.
Some good, some not so good.
Yes.
some in need of upgrading.
Yes.
Found a post on Instagram of all places of another author and counselor type of a person, and it was 9 signs you have a wounded inner child.
Oh, wow!
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
And we haven't really mentioned, you and I haven't really mentioned the concept of that child being wounded. But I mean, that's, I'm going to ask you in a second, but for me, the concept of a wounded inner child is pretty much all of them, because we've been taught things and we've been told things for years as children that we carry with us through life. We've talked about that a bunch.
Yeah.
But not all of that serves our best purpose in life. Now, does that mean wounded? Does that mean just bad information? I don't know, and I don't think it matters. This author uses the concept of wounded. Well, does that work for you? Do you have a better way, or a way that you like it better than that?
Well, wounded is good. When I think of wounded, I think of it being really severe, like physical or mental or sexual abuse. It to me is wounded. I'm trying to think if there's another word, but yet I understand the concept. What I always say is that we look at these big people and we go, oh, they're big. They must know everything because they've been around a long time.
Right.
Well, we don't know that they have a little kid inside of them that they're operating, under of what their parents had told them, which their parents have little children, their parents before. So it's carrying on and on and on. So when you recognize sometimes what you're being told, how you're being treated, what's going on in your life is based upon their experience as a child. And
Right.
if they've not worked through that and healed and look at that, their wounds from a different perspective, they're going to carry it on thinking, well, it happened to me, so, I'm just going to, carry it forth
Right.
because this is how they treated me, so it must mean that's how I treat this person. So it's really important to step back and go, wait a minute, am I at that point where I can, make this big influence on these little people? And you got to be honest with yourself. Have you done your inner work? Have you looked
Mhm.
at your own wounds, shifted your perspective on it, and, found, the reason for it? Forgiveness is a big part of it. Acceptance of that's the way it was, yet I have the ability to shift it because
Right.
I'm aware of it, and then move that awareness into your children. And I got to say that I wasn't aware enough when I was having my children until I realized, I'm not operating on the best level. And I went and got help.
Right.
And that's how
In
I got into it.
the computer, you know me, I'm a computer geek.
Yeah.
And any guy, any man, woman, anybody who's been in the computer business, this term has been around for since the beginning of computers when you had to program a computer to do something. And the
Mhm.
old cliche was garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever you put into the computer is what it's going to give back to you. And if you don't like the results that you're seeing from this particular program, it crashes it, whatever, like
Right.
anybody who's used Windows knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
Garbage in, garbage out means what you give it is what it gets back to you. And that's kind of the whole concept here because
Mhm.
you're getting stuff, like you said, from your parents who got it from their parents who got it from their parents, and it just goes
Yep.
back and back and back. And that garbage just keeps flowing, rolling downhill. So,
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
signs that you might, so again, we're not married to the concept of wounded inner child, but yet maybe some, as they also say in the online business, mistakes were made.
Yes.
Some things have gone wrong over time, and now we have to be
Mhm.
aware and do things to fix them. So, number one, a deep feeling something is wrong with you,
Mhm.
right?
Lived
If
that
that
way for a
if
long
you're
time.
walking around with that basic decision, wrong word. If you're walking around with that basic concept stuck in your head,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you there's work to be done here. There's
Absolutely.
and I think the important thing, and I know you're going to talk about this, so I'll just set you up and say it is absolutely fixable.
It is fixable.
Yeah.
It truly is. And I share openly with people that I was severely abused in all ways. And I had to come to a decision of was I going to kill myself or was I going to get help?
Mm-hmm.
It got that bad. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just being honest because I share it because I want people to know, you're seeing me on a good day. You know?
One of her favorite lines, but it's true for all of
But
us.
it's true for all of us.
Yeah.
I had to make the decision of, am I going to stay in this hurt, this anger, this pain, or I'm going to find somebody that can help me? And I was fortunate to find a hypnotherapist
Right.
that was pretty tough on me. And at first I fought, and then I realized, wait a minute, she's aggravating me on purpose to get me to look at it,
Right.
to shift it,
Right.
and to embrace that this happened and I have the ability to shift it. And that's what got me into being, a hypnotherapist and to start doing intuitive guidance.
Right. Right.
So with what, and oh boy, and there were moments that I walked out one time. I just said, I hate you. I'm not going to do this again, and because she was pushing every button and, methodically.
Yes. Yes.
And and on reflection, it was the best thing she's ever done for me is to push my buttons and make me look at it and go, okay, now what are you going to do?
Right. Right.
So,
That's why am I reminded of that new movie that's just coming out, the new version of the Karate Kid? Remember the original Karate Kid,
yeah.
where he
Yeah.
would like just have the kid do the most mundane, boring things over and
Mhm.
over. And what was he doing? He was training him to figure out the basic stuff, to go back to the basics, to go, okay, from now we can move forward. All right, whatever. I don't,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with the conversation, but for some
But
reason,
it's just the same
yeah,
similarity of you're doing the same thing over and over and over
right,
again.
right.
Is it helpful for you? Or, are you
Not
just
so much.
repeating the same pattern? And that's what, the hypnotic therapist did to me is go, what are you doing? You know,
Right, right.
and
All right.
he was, pretty brutal, which is what I deserved it because I needed it
And that's
to shake me out of my uncomfortable comfort zone.
uncomfortable comfort. What a nice thing to say, because point number two, by the way, this is from a lady by the name of Emmy Lou Seaman.
Okay.
Emmy Lou Seaman, you can follow her on Facebook, or excuse me, on Instagram, I suppose. But anyway, number two, sign of a wounded inner child. You feel guilty for setting boundaries, even with people who might mistreat you.
Yes.
I know, right? I
Hmm. Yep.
I had some of that myself not too long. I mean, again,
Mm,
past relationship, but yes,
right.
man, that's a hard, not a hard one. It was for me. I'll admit that it was hard for me
Yes.
because I'm trying to be nice, trying to get along, trying to do the
Mhm.
right thing, even when it's obviously not being returned to me.
Yeah. The feeling of it's not enough. What else can you do? And that puts you back into that wounded victim mentality, which is where a bully, basically, that's what they are, is what a bully feeds on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so they're more scared of you than you are,
Right.
because that's why they push so much and,
Right.
excuse me, but energetically vomit all over you
Yeah.
to keep you in your place.
I get it. I do. I do. Number three, you are unable to believe that you deserve good things in life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
one. That's a big
The
one.
relationships I've had is a perfect example.
Right?
Really?
Right? It
Yep.
applies to everything. It applies, like you said, but relationships is a really good indicator of that, because you're having something. I mean, there's someone right in front of you reflecting that information, that feeling, that energy back to you. And it's like, oh,
Yes.
wait a minute. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe I do deserve. And again, the idea that you could possibly, not possibly, there's no possibly about it, that you do deserve something better. Absolutely. Yeah.
Everyone.
I love that. Anyway, next one. Wounded inner child. You can't get over something that happened in your past, and you feel deep guilt and shame about it no matter how many years have passed.
That's a biggie.
Right?
Yes, it was a biggie for a long time. And just me personally, if it's okay that I'm sharing so much, but I had to forgive my father when he was at the point of he was in the dying process.
Right. Right.
And I've said it before, I've had family that lived 15 minutes away and would have nothing to do with them. I'm living in Georgia, he's in New York State, and I'm taking care of him
Mm-hmm.
because I did the inner work to go, I am lovable, I am important, I do matter. And I'm going, what happened to him?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't strong enough or loved himself enough to, you know, take care of himself, or to feel good about himself. So I went up to him and we had a good talk. And he said to me, one of the last things that, we talked about is thank you for helping me see my life from a different perspective. And that's why my business card says change your perspective, change your life.
Right.
And it
Right.
changed my life.
Other ideas of wounded inner child. You may be unable to affirm or say nice things about yourself. Isn't that how many
Oh,
people are like, you give them a compliment and they deny it, they turn it
yeah.
down, they send it back to you, return
Yeah.
to sender.
They go, oh, no, no, no.
Yeah,
You don't know me. Well, yeah, take it. Say thank you. It's as simple as that.
it
Thank you.
is. It's funny. Yeah, it's one of the one of the ladies at our pickleball group just
Hmm.
got back to town. She had been up in Atlanta, visiting, being with a family member who'd been in the hospital and
Oh,
needed some care at home, so they came back. And we were sitting on the sidelines talking between pickleball games, and I said, "Oh, what a you're a hero. Great for you. Good for you." And she said, "I'm not a hero. That's family." And on one hand, I got it. Okay, family, I get it. And I said, but on the other hand, I was a little firm, and I said, "No, not everybody's going to do that, even for family. Take the compliment."
Exactly.
And I don't know if it made an impression or not, but it's okay. I spoke my truth.
I love that. I was just going to say that. You made a statement.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So whether or not she picks up on that is not important. I planted the seed.
And that's what you have to do is plant the seed periodically, water it a little bit.
Water a little bit.
But ultimately, she's got to decide is she worthy of taking it or
Right.
not. And that,
Right.
yeah, you've done what you do. You're a good person. You've got a big heart. You share it. And it's same with me when I work with somebody. I share what I know. I share what I feel.
Hmm.
What they do with it, I just step back and go, okay, now it's on you.
This is something I know you and I we've talked about in the past, and you and I both have had experience with. Again, on the idea of the wounded inner child, you
Mhm.
desire to be invisible so that others don't know what you're thinking, how you feel, or what you're doing.
Lived that a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard to minimize yourself and to hide, you
Is
know.
it is it hard to minimize?
It's painful
Say
because,
more about that. Does that mean we're expending extra energy when we don't have to be, or what?
well, it's showing that we're not appreciating ourselves, loving ourselves, respecting ourselves. So we're
Right.
hiding, we're pretending, we're making it easy on somebody else, but it makes it harder on ourselves to not acknowledge who we truly are,
Okay.
and to
No, I
respect
understand that.
ourselves. And because we're talking about respecting others, we first have to respect ourselves.
Of course. Of course. And if that's the case, if we do choose to respect ourselves, there are going to be times where you need to share with someone what you're thinking or feeling or
Oh,
doing or
yeah.
whatever. Now, again, we're not saying that you're doing it to brag or to show off or to whatever. But again, if somebody asks you about something or what do you think about this, what do you feel about this, whatever, I mean,
Right?
that is an opportunity for you to contribute in a positive way to somebody else, to the good that's going on around there.
So we have, I feel we have that responsibility. If they ask us something, I'm going to share honestly with them. What
Hmm.
they do with it, I have to trust that they know what they need to do. If they do something with it, it's wonderful. If they don't, I just, pray that, somewhere along the line it'll, filter through again and they'll take advantage of it. We can only give and share. We can't make anybody do anything. That's their responsibility.
Exactly.
Yet we can be honest with them. We can be straightforward with them. Sometimes, a little pushy because sometimes somebody needs to be pushed.
Right. Right.
Get them out again, like I said, get them out of that uncomfortable comfort zone.
And I think that leads to the next one as well, again, on signs of a wounded inner child, which is
Mhm.
you're not sure of who you really are.
Oh, knew that I was like that for a long time because you're told all these stories.
Right.
And you look at these big people, again, you're looking at these big people, well, they've been around a long time, so they know a lot.
Right.
Until we realize they're operating again out of that little kid.
And very often, I, I'm guessing, but I'm not guessing because I've seen it in my own life and others, that the things that we are told that we are or how we
Mhm.
should feel or believe or whatever usually don't, well, I'm not going to say usually, often don't line up with our own inner feelings about ourselves, our own truth for ourselves.
Yeah,
I think I want to, I think I feel like this. I think, but then somebody imposes something on you or whatever. And again, I'm not
exactly. And then
saying that's, you
yeah.
should, whatever, blow off everything everybody tells you because people can give you good advice from time to time,
Oh, yeah.
especially
Yeah.
if you ask for it.
Oh,
But the
definitely.
things that are occasionally imposed on us leave us with that feeling of confusion,
Hmm.
leave us feeling that okay, somebody's been telling me this for years about
Yeah.
myself or whatever. Okay, great, but I've never really felt that way about myself. So now you end up confused and I'm just plain unsure of who
Well,
you are.
And then you got to step back and go, is it true?
Right.
Does it fit for me?
Right.
Does it resonate? Oops.
Right. Right. And then the another one, which I love, and again, this is so many of these are, well, I was going to say so many of these are related to relationship, but honestly, they relate to every part of life. But this one I see as a relationship thing. You're waiting for someone or wanting someone to nurture and care for you to make up for the absence of nurturance in the past.
Hmm. And that's a big trap.
A trap. Oh, again, say more about that. What do you mean? It's a trap to? Oh, it's a trap to be looking to have
To
that need.
Yeah, to have that need, because what you're doing is by needing and wanting, lots of times you attract the wrong person. And
Right.
believe me, I did that a lot until I stepped back and went, wait a minute, I'm looking to somebody else to fill me up.
Mm-hmm.
This is my
Mm-hmm.
job to love myself, respect myself, honor myself. So I draw the same person to me.
Right.
Because, we talk about energy. Whatever energy you put out, it's going to come back to you. So if you're looking for somebody to take care of you, well, that's, setting yourself up.
Right. For trouble.
Versus I'm looking for someone that I can be in partnership with, who's going to, have the same respect I have for myself. They're going to have that respect for me. So it's that give and take instead of, because unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for people who are victims
Right.
because it's a false sense of empowerment.
Empowerment in what? In empowerment to you as their life sucks worse than mine. So
Right. So it makes them feel like, by, controlling you or dominating you or, enslaving you sometimes,
right.
it makes them feel like, oh, look at me, I'm so big and powerful. Well, they're fooling themselves.
Right.
And you're
Right.
hurting that person, and that person actually goes deeper into the pain and into the suffering than where they were before. And believe me, I did that.
Been there, done that. Yeah, I
I
hear
did
you.
that because I was desperate to find somebody that would save me. Well, I forgot to look in the mirror and realize the person in the mirror is the one who's going to save me.
Old Native American proverb. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
Yes,
I love that.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a
Yes,
great one.
we have.
And last one here is you have, and this one's a little strong, but I think it's true for some people. You have suppressed anger, rage, deep seated, even hatred directed toward people who've hurt or mistreated you in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Got to be cleaned up.
Oh, it has to. And the
Yeah.
best way to do it is take a stick and, hit a rock, hit a log, do something, get that energy out of you. You've got to feel that hurt. You've got to feel that pain. You have to get it out.
I love that idea that you're actually talking about actual real physical activity of some
Physical,
sort.
yes, a physical activity, punching bag, not the person, but
Not
a
another
punching
person,
bag.
right? Right. We're talking about, yeah, we're talking
you
about another
know,
person.
running or do something physical because it's a physical thing that, the energy is like a physical thing and it's running our life because we've been programmed.
Right.
You're a computer person, the computer's only going to spit out, what you put into it. Well, it's
Exactly.
the same thing with people. Whatever we're programmed with, we live with that until we say, wait a minute, we got to change this programming. This is, hurting me. I don't have relationships, I'm depressed, I'm this or that. And I always feel if you take something physical, it's the physical which, promotes the mental to, start getting it moving and getting it out of there. It's
I,
hurt, it's pain, it's frustration.
it is all those things, but they aren't. But none of that is permanent. None of that is a sentence. It's not like you're going to prison for 10. None of that
Oh, no.
is a sentence to say that you are stuck with this. It can change.
Yes,
As our
yes,
old dear friend Louise Hay would say, it can change with your next decision
yes, yes.
immediately. Immediately. So,
Absolutely. But it's the
yeah.
willingness to look at it. It's the willingness to accept this happened to me. Now, what do I want to do?
And as the author of all these, Emmy Lou Seaman, I will again post this in the show notes as she said, and it's a Vicki Wagoner line that I've heard for 50 years. Healing begins when we decide to take back our power.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what we've been through, we have the ability to rewrite our story and create a life filled with love, safety, and connection. It starts by honoring every part of ourselves,
Yeah,
especially the parts we once buried, maybe out of survival, but doesn't
yeah,
matter. Give yourself the love, care, and understanding you always deserved. You have the power to do that right now.
absolutely. And that's why I like sharing my story. For a long time, I was afraid of it. I thought, nobody would like me. But once I started sharing, it's amazing how many people came out of the woodwork to go, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I and people feel safe with me because I know what they felt. So I'm not there to judge them. I'm there to say, hey, you know, good for you to look at it. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
The looking at it, the recognizing it is really just, I hate to say it, but I will.
Okay.
That's the easy part. The looking at it is the easy part. And sometimes a friend will point it out. Sometimes a counselor like Vicki Wagoner will point it out to a client or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what are you going to do about it? That's the hard part.
The hard part is accepting it happened to you,
Right.
okay? Because it's a lot of pain and a lot of people don't understand if they haven't been through it. Some people will go, "Oh, well, what's your problem?" or whatever, and kind of blow you off, which is really hurtful because it's real. We
Right.
feel it. We live with it every day. So I go, "I know how you feel. I've been through it."
Hmm.
So what I'm telling you is that I admire that you feel safe, because that's a big thing. You don't feel safe when you're victimized, that
Right.
you feel safe with me, that you are comfortable enough to share it. So let's share it, let's get it out, and let's, make this new path that you're on, because that's what you deserve.
I want to talk about this a little more, and I have a feeling it's going to take the rest of the hour. But first, let's take a break. This is awesome conversation. It really is. So hang in there. We're going to take a quick break. And before that, if someone is interested, we mentioned this earlier, but I want to repeat that this is something you do for clients and friends all over the. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say clients and friends. When you have clients, they become your friends. That's just how
Oh,
it works for you. I know that.
I
So if
know.
someone were interested in talking to you about any of these things that if anything that we've said has resonated with you in terms of that sounds like me, and now I want to do something about it because
Yeah.
we all have those moments. I'm sure all the things that we just laid out are things that everyone in our audience at some point or another goes, "Yep, that was me."
Yeah.
So now, okay, now my question is back to the original. What do you want to do about it? And if you'd like some help with that, I can think of nobody better than my friend Vicki Wagner. How does somebody get in touch with you for that, please?
Well, thank you. And you can call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner, 53 at gmail.com.
And with that, we will be right back. We're back. Thanks for joining us here on The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. We are at step number 42 along the path today with yours truly, Bill Sklodowski, and our friend Vicki Wagner as well. And we've been having a great discussion, and I want to continue it about
Great.
this whole thing of inner child stuff because we do talk about it a lot here on
Yeah.
this show, and of
Mhm.
course, we've outlined all the different ways, not all, but many of the different ways that you might recognize that there's work to here that needs to be done.
Yes.
And I know, and we maybe briefly we can talk a little bit about that process now that
Hmm.
we've kind of given you the not diagnosis. We've given you all the things that could go wrong, and you're like, oh God, yeah, that's a one, two. I'm counting all the ways that this affects that I recognize this in my life. For you, what I mean, either for yourself or as you help clients and friends with this sort of stuff, what I mean, you don't have to give us the whole thing, but what's kind of your process in getting to the heart of that sort of stuff? And then what are you I'm trying to think of the term. I get, what's the bridge that we cross to go, oh yeah, that's the way I used to do it. Now I'm going to do this instead. What is that? Yeah. Where's that turning point and how does it show up for somebody?
Well, I've been given the gift of I can feel it,
Mm-hmm.
and I've tried to be gentle when I say, so what happened in childhood?
Right.
And you get the deer in the headlights look. Like, how'd you know that?
Right.
Um, so I just say, I sense, I feel that you're hiding, who you truly are, and you're hiding behind something that wounded you, in childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody looks at me again like a deer in the headlights, or they start to cry, it's like, okay, I know this is what is. And I just go, you're more than what happened to you. And so you've got to step back from looking at your being the victim of it to how can you empower yourself to address it, look at it from that different perspective. What are the gifts that you got from it, and how can you move yourself forward?
Right. Right.
And because that's what everyone deserves. Everyone deserves to be who they truly are versus what they've been told that they are.
Just a tiny little side note, and that's this. If if somebody does, like you said, what happened in childhood, you ask somebody that. I think that would probably be a fair question for, oh, I don't know, 95% of humanity.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, again, not to diminish your gift in talking to people because that's where the rubber hits the road. But yeah, I think we
Mhm.
all have something,
Oh,
some
yes.
some form of programming, if that's the word, because I'm the computer guy,
Abs-
so programming is the word I use.
Absolutely. That's what it is.
But we all have something back there that was like not the best for us.
Yeah.
Not and it doesn't matter. It could be relationship things. You saw your parents get divorced at a young age. You figured love was not for me. Your mom and dad always told you, no, money doesn't grow on trees. We can't have that thing. So now you're going to be poor your entire life. Or what? There's
Yeah.
1,000 different things with a million different reasons.
Oh, yes.
That's not important. The important thing is what you do about it. Here we are
Yeah.
again.
Hmm.
So again, and I kind of know your process because I've been through it. I've been on the receiving end of it. To kind of again, it's that pick your number, 10,000 foot, 30,000 foot view of things. To go, okay, look back, but do it from the perspective of someone just reporting on it. I was an old
Yes.
reporter,
Yep.
reporting on it or witnessing it or whatever, without any judgment about it.
Right. Just simply look at the facts of it, because when you look at the facts of it, it takes that emotion out of it. So I tell people, just imagine yourself stepping back and you're looking at, your childhood from
Right,
the perspective of, okay, you're, older now, and you've got a different perspective on it. When we're little, again, like I said before, we're looking up these big people. Well, they've been around a long time, so they must know everything,
right,
you know. So I said, you be that person to look at it and see it from the perspective of it's like a movie, so that you can step out of the emotion of it and just see the facts of it
right,
and see the truth of it is that, maybe, a parent, or, a grandparent, or, a teacher or whatever, has they have little kids inside of them. So if you can see their little kid and see what were they doing based upon maybe what they've experienced, I mean, whoever knows, but you can get a feeling of, something must have happened to that person, that they couldn't deal with it. They didn't have the help that was, available. And it's scary to talk to somebody you don't know and say, well, this happened to me. And it took me a long time. I got to tell you the truth of it. I just remembered. I called the hypnotherapist 5 times and hung up 4 times. She recognized the number and picked up faster than I could hang up on the fifth time. And that's what started my whole change. Mhm. True story, honest
yeah.
to
So there was something in you that knew that
God. Mhm.
whatever it is I'm doing right now is not working.
Oh yeah, I had, relationships that
Right.
sucked, that were, the wrong people. It was abusive, you know, um, jobs that I had that just didn't seem to fit right. I was just doing things because I had to instead of, what's my worth? What can I offer to somebody?
Right.
So things were just falling apart. And I was at the point of, I'll be honest with you, I was thinking of committing suicide because it's like, what's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point? I'm no good. Nobody does anything for me. I can't get, answers. I'm always being yelled at and stuff, and abused. And it's like, just end it. But it was that fifth call that turned my whole life around. And she was tough with me, and that's what I learned, not
Sure.
tough like she was rough, but it's like she just got to the point of it and go, okay, so, what are you going to do with it? You're going
Right.
to stay the same? You want to commit suicide or do you want to change? You know.
And when you made that decision to change, what
Mhm.
was the change you made? If you can put it in a less than an hour.
Uh, well, the change I made was to be honest about my past,
To be in what way?
that I was emotionally, mentally, physically, and sexually abused by my father. And my mother was totally oblivious. She would not listen to it, she wouldn't acknowledge it because she was abused by my father.
And having come to that, I'm not going to say realization, when you admitted that to yourself, when you
Oh,
correct me if I'm using the wrong words or a better if a better word comes along for all of this, but I'm trying to kind of go through the process with you. When you allowed yourself to recognize that yes, this did happen to me,
right.
what did that do for you, or what switch did that flip for you, or what change did that allow you to make?
Well, it's when Vivian was her name. She since passed away. But when Vivian just sat, quietly with me and says, okay, that's what I was feeling. That's what I thought. Here's your choice. You can live with it or you can start looking at it from that different perspective. And I thought, okay, well, living with it is going to probably end up killing me.
Right.
And then she was just she was very calm, but she was very direct. And she was caring. She cared that I was there. She cared that I felt safe, that I could share my story. And that's what changed me, that I thought, okay, here's someone I can feel safe with.
And does so and again, I'm sorry I'm picking apart, and I'm not sorry. I'm picking apart the process like the reporter that I used to be. Uh,
Absolutely.
so once I'm thinking, I'm feeling, tell me if this is what actually happened, that once you realized or recognized or saw, hey, here's one person that
Mhm.
gets me, for lack of a
Yes.
better term, that
Right.
that is willing to be with me or to continue to talk to me, even though I went through all this shit. Um,
Yeah.
so was that like a jump start, a kick start to be able to say, oh, then I must be able to do it with others?
Oh, yeah. Because I tried to tell my mom that and she refused. She says, your father's not doing that. Well, you feel
Hmm.
like a liar.
Right,
It's like, well, wait a minute. Don't I exist? Don't I matter?
right,
And
right,
I, how do you go to school and tell kids, that, when you're black and blue, I fell down, you know?
right, right,
So how do you, as a kid, how do you feel safe? So as I was in my, middle 20s, and I said, like I said, it was either I was going to commit suicide or I was going to get help.
right,
And I just happened, yeah, and Vivian was very intuitive herself. That's why on the fifth call, she says, she just wouldn't let me hang up. She just kept started talking to me.
right,
And going to her, knowing that I could share with her, knowing that I wasn't going to be criticized or, be ridiculed or, I was going to be this horrible human being because that's what I thought. I thought I didn't matter because, obviously if your parent is beating you up and raping you, I mean, what's your value?
right.
And she knew I could shift. She knew I could look at it from that different perspective. And it made me feel safe that I could open up and knew that someone would believe me. Someone
Mm,
would listen to my story. someone
Hmm.
was there to help me. And I went to her for several years.
And this, I was going to say the simple fact, it's not that simple. The fact that that someone was available to you, was there to listen to you, was there to believe you,
To
and
believe,
very few others would, if anybody,
oh yeah,
was enough to get that process started in you to
yes.
say, all right, I get it.
Mhm.
Okay, so thanks. Now I now I got this kind of a thing. It's like pushing the sled down the hill, it starts going, and once, it's going on its own after you push.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah. And to know that someone could feel and know and support me.
And once you had the one, then you could start to look for others.
Yeah.
Yes? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes, no, that's it. It's like you open up the door
Right.
and you walk in and you start looking around and it's like, whoa, this is a whole different world. This is a whole different, way of looking at my life. And I thought I was the one that created it. And she brought out the point of, you didn't create it, you were the victim of it.
We're
And a lot of people feel that they've created these scenarios because it's embedded that, you're little and, you look up these big people
right.
and they tell you something and you believe it. So you
Right.
just, was my foundation. Whatever my father said, well, I believed it. I must have created it. I made him do this. And she's like, no,
Yeah. Right. Right.
no,
And I don't want to trigger people, wrong word, but I don't want people to, because we say victim a lot of times in this world nowadays,
right,
and that has a interesting connotation to it. Victim, I
right.
get it.
But you've got to look at it. You've got
Yes.
to look at the black and white. You
Yes.
are victimized. You are
Yes.
taken advantage of. By doing something about it, what are you doing? You're shifting it into empowerment.
That's Thank you, because that's what exactly what this author mentioned, and we talk about on this program
Mhm.
pretty much every week. Healing
Yes,
begins when you decide to take back your power.
exactly.
And hear that word, take back. I'm
Take
making
it
a real
back.
emphasis here, I know, on the
Yeah.
camera. Because you always had it,
Oh, it's always there.
but perhaps you let someone else overcome,
Mhm.
maybe the wrong word, but you let other situations, other people, other whatever, kind of drown out
Right.
your own inner voice, your own inner knowing of something. Because, like you said, and again, an example we use every week, you're listening to parents or teachers or family members who are bigger, older, and allegedly
Yes.
wiser than you.
Mhm.
They're not. They're
They're
not.
not. And that's why I always tell people just because you see these big people, they
Right.
have little people inside of them that they're operating on until
Right.
they change it.
So again, when it comes to the taking back of the power to go, okay, you know what? This didn't feel good then. This doesn't feel good now when I remember it. But now but the doing something, I know I've been harping on this now for a half an hour, but it's because I think that's where, again, old cliche, where the rubber hits the road. We
Oh
just had the
yeah.
Indy 500 this past weekend.
Yes.
A lot of rubber hitting the road.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but where you actually make that decision
Mhm.
and capital and act on it.
Yes, it's the acting on it. You can talk about it till the cows come home. What action are you going to take?
Exactly.
And being and having the ability to step back and realize what happened to them that they would, you know, keep paying it forward, so to speak, and
No,
not.
that exactly right. Paying it
So
forward.
I had to do, and that was the hardest part, is to step back and go, okay, well, what happened to my dad?
Right.
And to see his child within.
Right.
And that, I'll just being honest, that was really a little bit rough, but I got to the point of where I could see that. I could see his little child. I could see why he operated, in the way that he did. Even though he was brilliant, he was one of the stupidest people I've ever met.
Well, that happens a
Yet,
lot. Yeah.
But that's who I am. I'm compassionate, I'm loving, I'm caring, and I got my temper. But I can see the bigger picture of what happened to him and
Right.
having compassion for him that he never got out of it.
Right.
I did.
There's one of the big keys of the whole
Yeah.
thing is is
Yes.
is that once you have that bigger, broader perspective,
Yes.
dare we say an unlimited perspective, throwback there to an old term that we
Yes.
used to use. Um,
Yeah.
Once you have that bigger, broader perspective and you can see, oh, this is why they did that. This is what happened. And again, you don't have to be, this isn't clinical. You don't have to be like spot on with everything, but you can see that somebody had a bad childhood when they were brought up too, and now they're
Mhm.
passing it along to me or to their kids or whatever.
Right.
That's all it takes. We're not looking for we're not looking to write a book about it. We're just looking for that moment of recognition to go,
Yes.
oh,
Hmm.
I don't have to be that way. I don't
Exactly.
I don't have to follow the same map that they did.
Exactly. Oh
There you go.
gosh, yes, absolutely. Hmm.
And that makes all the difference. Making that decision that you again, my old friend Dr. Ed, shout out to Dr. Ed, maybe you'd like to make a different decision.
Absolutely, because they're all out there.
Yep.
It's which one are you going to take?
Yep.
What are you going to do for yourself? How much are you going to love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself? And again, I use this a lot. How much are you going to empower yourself so that you can empower other people?
Yeah. Yeah. We use a lot of words on this show that are out there, and I recognize that there's been so much conversation about so much stuff out there that's kind of trivialized a lot of these words, but there when you really get down to it, there's still foundational stuff. There's
Oh,
still like, yes, there were things that you did in life. There were things that happened to you in life that you are not responsible for. Call it victim, call it whatever.
right.
There are things that you experienced because of somebody else's challenges, problems, whatever. I get that.
Fear, fear.
Fear,
Hmm.
thank you. You know,
Yep.
Master Yoda, there are two forces in the universe. There are love and there is love and there's fear. Fear
Yes.
leads to the dark side.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's so once you recognize that, now again, here we are. We started the show with this and we're going to end the show with this. What are you going to do about it?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you make that decision, be proud of yourself that you said, okay, I'm going to do something about it. I'm taking steps. And it could be baby steps.
Yep.
Steps are steps.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
loving yourself, respecting yourself, honoring yourself to say, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to make a change.
Do this first. Go to your local neighborhood used bookstore.
Hmm.
Find Louise Hay. You can heal your life.
Oh,
Find it because
yes.
it's in every bookstore
Mm.
everywhere on planet Earth, and it's usually
Yes.
available for $1 out there at a garage sale or a rummage sale
Mhm.
or a book sale somewhere. Start with that.
It is. That is like the
Yeah.
Bible of
It is, it is,
self-healing.
it's a quick and easy read. It's her story and then how she made the decision. What am I going to do with what has happened to me in my
Yeah.
life? And
Yes.
then from there, if you are called to do it, if you feel the pull to do it, then you can get more help.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from a friend, maybe it's from some other like-minded person, maybe it's from our friend Vicki Wagner. See how I built on that
That's
built that
true.
case there?
Thank you. I'm
So is
very, no, and you're right. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate
right.
about inspiring other people to say, you can do this. You are strong enough. You love yourself enough. You respect yourself enough to change your life.
Right. Right. And you absolutely, as Louise would say, you can heal your life. It's not a question of if, you can do it if you choose to. And
Absolutely.
again, somebody would like some help with that, Miss Vicky, how do we get in touch with you?
Again, they can call me or text me at 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 at gmail.com.
There you go. And if you want to, and this has nothing to do with healing your life, but if you want to heal your technical problems,
That's in my life, let me tell you.
Right. Go look at YouTube and find Bill's iPhone tips on YouTube, and that's my side hustle, as the kids say nowadays. That's my, I do that for fun and all of that, so it's great. But yes, Bill's iPhone tips, and then if you need help with your phone, computer, whatever, it's all in there. So yeah, so there you go. Wow, Miss Vicky, we chatted for more than an hour here, and I thought we were going to have to get to some
Oh,
other article to take up some time, and we ended up having this deep dive. I feel like I don't know, I need to dry off now. I've been in these deep waters for so long here. So
it felt like it was like 15 minutes. It's like the fastest we've ever
I,
done.
these were my when I was a reporter back in the day. I was on the radio with our friend BJ, and there were some people you would interview that you would just sit down in the room with them and say, "So, how's it going, Joe?" And a half hour later, you'd go, "Oh, look at the time. Thanks for coming, everybody." And that's kind of like what happened today. We just got deep into this, and it's
Yeah.
awesome, awesome stuff. It really is. So,
Yes. And
anyway, we hope this has been a help for you, a service to you, an
yes,
uplifting moment for you. And again,
yes,
there are so many resources out there. I mean, if you
yes.
take advantage of the stuff that we have, or that Miss
Mhm.
Vicky does, and all of that, awesome, great. But there's just know that there's help out there, and that if
Yes,
you have feelings that are, again, I think the first one, to me, we had that list of
right.
signs that you may have a wounded inner child, and that's, I don't know if I like the wounded part, like you said, that feels a little deeper, whatever. But anyway, no matter what, if you have that feeling, if you just keep telling yourself there's something wrong with me,
Yes.
there is not. Trust
There's,
me, there is not.
yeah.
And that's something you've been given by someone, and you can change it.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely.
Today you can change
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Right.
It's a commitment. And what you're doing is you're
Right.
committing to yourself. You're committing to that beautiful little child within. And
Exactly.
and I, you know, just would love to help anybody, that would, want to do that
There you
because
go.
I love empowering people because I know what
Awesome.
it feels like.
Awesome. That's the whole point of this show. That's the point of the work that Vicki Wagner does. We just want to help folks.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
life is beautiful if you let it be that way. So
Yes. And everyone deserves it.
yes and yes. All right. It's going to do it for this week. Wow, what a great conversation. I appreciate
Oh,
it. And all of our friends and listeners out there who have been with us on this journey today, on this particular step along the path. It's been a big rock. Been a big rock in this.
oh
The
yeah.
path today has had a big step. So it's a good one. Thanks,
It is.
everybody. We appreciate it. And
Yeah.
thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next week. Until
Yeah.
then, I'm Bill Sklodowski.
And I'm Vicki Wagner, and thank you for being here. And remember to always be your own best friend.